a big archive down there of a lot of Aboriginal recorded, photographed and documented histories from all mobs over Australia. And I said, do you have any Uluru songs? And they sent me a CD. They said, we've only got this. And it was 3 hours of talking and maybe 20 seconds of a snippet of a song that one of our uncles was trying to remember. You can hear him on the recording trying to remember this song. But in the conversation beforehand, he's talking about this word Gogo. And Gogo, back when he was a little fella, so this would have been in the early 1900s, he said, oh, Gogo is the word that we say when someone's passed away. So when someone dies, their name back in the old days wasn't said, and sort of retired and replaced with this word Gogo until that sorry time was over. And I heard that at the very same time. It's really weird that I'm getting all these Redfern images yarning to you fellas here now, but I learned that word Gogo. I heard that old uncle talk that word 2 days before Redfern riots. I don't know if anyone remembers that. This was like 6 years ago now. A young man who's a countryman of mine, he's from Walgett. He came off his bike after a police chase, and our tape's like 100 metres down the road. We walk past that site there every day, and we saw riot police and, you know, petrol bombs and all this kind of stuff in that place that we were born. And knowing that young man and learning that word, and for me, you know, I went to a memorial march on the day that he was buried down in up in Walgett. My dad was at the funeral and I went to the march down in Sydney, and I rang him up after and I said, oh, how did it go? He said it was very sad, big funeral, very sad. But the strangest thing happened, that it rained all night out of nowhere after months of drought. Rained all night and stopped at 10 o'clock the next day when that funeral started. And I said, the reverse happened in Sydney. We met at the block, we walked past that site where he come off his bike, over to the police station, back down the block. And I got a train home, and looking at that water in the drains, when we all left, the rain came down. So thinking about that word, that countryman, that rain, and rain brings life. So we sing this song for him, Gogo, to celebrate his life. And I didn't know him, but he had 17 years of joy with the people close to him. And we'd like to celebrate that.